Hi guys, welcome back to yet another day on the road. And today I've got Norwich. Woohoo! Going to Norwich now. In my intro insert there is a photo of the truck I'm driving. Well, not this particular truck, but an Actros. In a backway, you know. You've all seen it 100 times or more by now. That is the backway I'm going to today. I'm going back there. I haven't been there since I started doing this. I'm finally going back to it. So I'm off to sunny Norwich. I'm going to go check out that new thing they've just received up there. What's it called? Electricity, that's the one. I'm going to go and see what that newfangled electricity is all about. Now, I love you really, Norwich. I actually do like Norwich. Surprisingly enough, I actually do like Norwich. No, I don't just mean the store, I mean the place. But yes, I'm going to be doing that back way. So what I'm going to do is when I get there, if I can, obviously I don't know what deliveries are going on, whatever, but as long as there's no signs, no company logos anywhere, I'll keep the forward-facing one rolling, and I'll try and set that one up outside the window on that side so you can see how close we have to get. But I might just only end up keeping the forward-facing one rolling because I might not have all the time or the luxury of time to set the other camera up. So we shall see when I get there. Whatever, you will see. You'll see that part. So I like going to this store because they don't take too long. Now I've got grease all over me arm. Look at that. Now the fun thing is on the back of this wagon I've got, well, basically I've got about a half a full load, half a full load. Of course, half a full load is half. I'm having a bit of a silly moment at the moment. No, half of this wagon is normal products, ambient stuff. Ambient, if anybody's curious, never, because what was it, Steve Patterson I think said he was delivering ambient, he'd never come across that word before. Ambient, to anyone who doesn't know, is room temperature. Okay, so it's all your room temperature products. Your bug sprays, your deodorants, soaps, crisps, just ambient stuff, anything that you can think of that you don't need to chill. It's ambient, basically. Electronics and things like that in retail generally come under GM, General Merchandise, I think that is. Something like that. But anyway, I digress a little bit. Yes, on the remaining half I have 5 chest freezers. Now they're old ones, they've obviously been store to store transfer, most likely because the store I'm going to is going to start doing more delivery services and needs holding freezers, because they've got the main ones on the shop floor, and then of course they pick the stuff for the stores that have ordered from them, bung them in the holding freezers and chillers out the back so that the product can't be sold, and then go from there. So I'm going to hazard a guess these older ones that have had their life on the shop floor are now being into the store transferred so as they can be used to hold goods for, well, customers basically. Now they can't fall off of this wagon. I have a box trailer. Okay, they can't fall off. They can't fall towards the back door. They're held in place in that respect. However, because of their width, the fact they've been put on pallets, they can go side to side. They can't come back, they can't go through the doors. No, not a chance in hell. I'd never ever take a load that could go through the doors on the road. But they can go side to side. Because obviously this is a box, so I've got bars. They can go side to side. So I've got to be bloody careful when I'm going around bends. Otherwise, because obviously the tops of these freezers are the ones you get on shop floors, and if you can remember, and they're kind of obviously all supermarkets these days have gone to those kind of trough freezer things, haven't they? But if you are old enough, like me, you can remember the time when you used to go into stores. I mean, some local stores will still have them, and you lift up this glass lid to get your products, and then you close the glass. Yeah, they're those kind of things. So if I'm not bloody careful, there's going to be 5 lots of glass, smashed buggery, fridge is knackered, and I'm going to be flavouring them up. So although they can't fall off the wagon, they can smash themselves to pieces inside the wagon. So, oh, really? So this is fun. I mean, security-wise, as in, can they fall off the wagon? No, they can't. So, as far as load restraints go, perfectly acceptable. But they can douche behind the bar. Because obviously the pallet is deeper than the freezers are thick. So the pallets can touch one another, but the freezers can't. So they can't be wedged in, if that makes sense. So they can't hold themselves in place. A bit like palletised distribution. You shrink wrap them, all that kind of stuff, you bang them in place and you put them tight together, they kind of hold themselves in place. Well, the freezers can't do that. No. So yeah, yes, I've been tasked with this job. Goody gumdrops. I have been decreed a smooth enough driver to be able to pull this off. Oh! But anyway, there we go. So I shall crack on to Norwich and see what I find along the way. See what pops into my brain to chat about a bit later on. Well, we're on the 505 now. If anyone's curious, because at the end of the day, I do know that you guys are watching this. Maybe you're going to be based in and around the area I'm running from, like Hatfield, for example. And your first day, you might get somewhere in Norwich, and you might think, I've never been to Norwich a day in my life. How do I get there? What do I do? I mean, the first day I was ever on the road, I didn't know where Crick was. I mean, how dumb is that? Junction 18 off the M1. I'd been past it God knows how many times, still didn't know where it was. So, for all of you guys, if you are based in and around the Hertfordshire area when you start driving, of course, if you're not, if you're in the south area, then the easiest way for you would be M11, obviously. But if you're in the Hertfordshire area, kind of close to the A1, then what you want to do is you want to go up the A1 north to the 505, across that all the way towards Duxford, pick up the A11, follow the A11 onto the 14, take the A11 off of the 14, and just follow it all the way just to the end. And at the end of the A11 is, well, is Norwich. That's it. That's as easy as it gets. I'm going to be dropping down on the A47 and going a couple of junctions over because I'm going to an industrial area. But yeah, that's it really. You just get yourself onto the A11 and just follow it. That's getting to Norwich. Now, I did think of something to chat about. Now, I've already broken the seal and started talking about cars before, so I can carry on. Hey! I'm gonna get boring. Ooh, hello. Keep clear. I forgot about that. There we go. Right. Now, that's probably moved a couple of the fridges. The thing I was going to talk about. I saw a video on YouTube. Now at the moment it's a concept supposedly to be released in 2017. Okay, supposedly. Whether it is or not, who knows? But supposedly. And I've had a little look on the old interwebs and Google and all the whistles and bells, and it seems to be, you know, the concept is there, and supposedly it's going to be released in 2017. But Lancia are bringing back the Delta properly. I'm not talking about that wishy-washy based on a Fiat Bravo one we've got at the moment. I'm talking about a living embodiment, well, a mechanical living embodiment of God. I am talking about the actual Delta Integrale. If you haven't seen what I'm talking about, you're on YouTube now, obviously. Well, actually now, I'm not more important than this moment in automotive history. I am not more important, so now, do it now. Type in Lancia Delta 2017, and it should probably be the first video that comes up. It will be the 2016 concept, I think, something like that, but just type in Lancia Delta 2017 and it will come out, and just watch it, just look at it. I've already gone out, I've said it on Twitter so far, you know, I've already come out and said, if Lancia release this, shut up and take my money. I just don't care. I might have to sell my firstborn child to buy one, but by God, it will be worth it, and I think I speak for every petrol head when I say that. But yes, it's looking like it's going to be a 2 litre 300 horsepower all-wheel drive. Now, okay, I know, A45 AMG, all-wheel drive, 360 horsepower, so it be there. Yeah, but you are not going to look anywhere near as cool in your RC looking car than I'd look in the Delta. No. Okay, you know, I'm not taking anything away from AMG. AMG are, well, the engineers who work in AMG, they're certified lunatics. They just I can imagine the design process. You know, Mercedes cautiously, very cautiously, rolls a car, just pushes a car into the darkened atmosphere that is the AMG tuning shop. Push it and let it roll in. And all of a sudden these red glowing eyes appear in the darkness. And you hear all the growls and the guttural moans and groans and saliva flowing everywhere and claws coming out of the darkness at it. And then all of a sudden you have insanity released onto the world in the form of an AMG, a C63 AMG estate. I mean, who's bonkers enough to think, oh, let's take the C63 AMG Nürburgring killer and turn it into a family car. You know, let's take an A-Class, squish it, and turn it into a supercar. You know, that's a different level of nut jobbery. So I'm not taking anything away from Mercedes AMG, from the AMG tuning department. You boys are off the chain. You're a couple of spanners short of a toolkit. I mean, yeah. But at the end of the day, this is Lancia Delta Integrale, 2 litre HF, 300 horsepower, all-wheel drive. And when you see the YouTube video, if you haven't seen it yet, even you'll be sitting there like, yeah, okay. Because my other half, she hates the original Delta, absolutely detests it. She says it's too square, it's too boxy, it's horrible. Fine. I didn't talk to her for a week after she said that, but fine. It's her personal opinion. But she saw this, and she's looking at the first one, and she's like, and then of course it cuts to the concept one. What is supposedly going to be the new one, if it comes into production. Immediately she went, oh, you can have one of those. Oh, that black one with a red highlight bit. Oh my days. You know, immediately she was just like, yeah, you can have one of those. Yeah, that's right. It really is just, it's Italian chic. It's just cool. It just is. And I think, to be fair, I do speak for every single petrol head when I say, if they do release this, just shut up and take our money. I mean, to be fair, and I'm going to pose this question to everyone who is into cars, who, you know, you are a petrol head, you know of the history of the Lancia Delta and the 6 World Rally Championships that it was undefeated in and everything else, and just the car itself. Who would you be more envious of? The person in the Plastic Fantastic AMG A45, or the person in the Lancia Delta Integrale? Now, whatever your answer to that is, that's the car you prefer. That's your personal preference. Mine is Lancia. I know that since they got into all the issues with rust and rot and they pulled out the UK, they had many different issues. Fiat own them now, and they've been chucking out bland whatevers for the last God knows how long. The Delta was just it just redefined everything, to be fair. It was just ooh, man. You know, it's the mechanical embodiment of God. And I don't think I'll speak out of turn when I say that. But yeah, I just thought I'd chat about that. Because, I mean, come on. If they relaunch a Delta, yeah. I look forward to being on the same road as that car. I look forward to just being able to see it go. So yes, I thought I would chat about that for a moment. Well, it gives me something to do. But anyway, I shall see you further on down in my journey, or when I get to Norwich, depending on what drops into my brain to talk about. Right, well, here we are. Now, this is the best I can give you. I can't muck about, there's too much going on. What you need to do in these situations is identify what you're looking at. Now remember, I'm in a full size, so I've opened both my windows so I can hear everything. Okay? Now you've got to look at this. You can see the crash barrier. You'll see it as we get to it. It's been dented, it's been hit, it's wiggled it. So if I get too close, I'm going to hit it. But on this side, you've got the bank reinforcement, and that's been hit. So what you need to do, I'm going to adjust my mirror slightly for this one. You need to try and get yourself round. You need to get yourself over. Because of the trailer cut. Remember, the trailer cut is going to hit that. So you've got to watch your trailer, get it really close. Okay, watch what's going on in front of you. Now this is where your mirrors come in. Okay, this is why you do that manoeuvre in your test. Now I'm going to change this up slightly so as you can see a bit better. Okay, so that will have moved slightly. This is why you do that manoeuvre, that reverse manoeuvre in your test, to get you used to using mirrors and looking at lines. Because obviously you're looking in those mirrors for the cone, aren't you? Anyway, let's crack on. Hopefully without cracking anything. Got to be careful there. Suddenly realised I got that on. Because the top one sticks out a little bit. Now can you see all those little yellow markers? That's where people have been grinding their wheels and they've been flinging off. Because this really is as tight as you want to get. That one, that secondary bar, catches everybody out. The reason being is because it's been dented and it sticks out. Now this is basically where I was when I took that intro photo. Now, concentrate on what your trailer is doing this side. Now if anybody's curious, what I shall do it lets me. There you go, I've taken a photo, so you'll be seeing that now. You've got to watch everything. Absolutely everything. Now the issue for me on this one is that bank bends out. So although my wheels are missing it, my trailer's wider than the wheels and the top is banked, and I've got an unmarked white trailer. I can't get away with that one. Anyway, there you go. Obviously we came in this way, you all recognise it. There you go. Well, successfully did the delivery. Left. And it's far easier getting out of there than it is getting in. Getting out is just a diagonal, because obviously when you go in you've got two lanes going down into that one lane. When you come out you're on the one lane, but you end up going into two lanes. So that's something for you new guys. Sometimes you can get out of somewhere easier than you can get in, and that also works in reverse. Sometimes it's easier to get in than it is to get out. So always bear that in mind. Always have a shufti, always have a look. If you're unsure of something, stop, get out and have a look, basically. Because sometimes you might get in somewhere and then think, well, that's a pain, I can't get out. So if you drive in, sometimes you have to reverse out. But yes, I've had a phone call asking me to go to Wellingborough. So that's extended my day somewhat slightly. I'm in the service area on the A11 by Thetford. Hurst's, I think, is the name of the shop. Yeah, Hurst's is the name of the shop. It's BP. So I'll go down the A11, get to the 14, trundle along the 14 all the way to the 509 and in that way. I shall be trundling through the rush hour. Hasn't been that bad this week, but it's a Friday today, so there is a strong possibility it's going to be knackered. Yeah, it's all fun and games. So I shall most likely see you when I'm at Wellingborough or on the way to Wellingborough, one of the two. So yeah, I shall see you in a while. Back on the A11, had me break. Now, going back to my earlier comments on the Lancia Delta, I know that rumour has been circulating the rumour mill since what, 2010, 2011, that they were going to bring it back, even though they were trying to relaunch Alfa Romeo at cost billions of bleeding euros to Fiat. Oh, hello, there we go. But let's say that they were to, because like I said earlier, it's a potential. There's no guarantees. There's potential to bring back virtually every car. But let's say that they were to. Now, obviously, the latest rendition of the Focus, which is what, the RS, or the new RS 500, I believe that's what it's going to be called. Or is called, sorry, I shouldn't say that because it's launched at the moment. But that's all-wheel drive, 340 odd horse. You've got obviously the off-the-chain A45 AMG, 360 something horses, and then of course you've got the RS3, which is again all-wheel drive, 300 something else, 60 something else horses. Hello. Okay. bit quick there, boss, going a bit quick. Now, if they were, I'm saying if, I know that the rumour's been going forever and ever and ever and ever. If they were to relaunch properly, then yes, chances are it'd be a 2 litre with 300 horse. So it'd sit behind the big 3 guns. And well, even the BMW M1 is what, 330 something horse. So it probably would sit behind that as well. So what would I want to see if Lancia were going to do the Delta run? I mean, you know, properly, to bring it back as an everything around it killer. Well, I think, and this is personal again, an aluminium based 2.5 V6, keep the weight down. Supercharge it, so you get rid of any kind of turbo lag or issues with turbos. You could do that, what, nicely balanced, well tuned, massively supercharged, 450 horse, maybe 500, something like that. So keep it sensible around the 450. So as you kind of in the group of what the next generations will be. And then of course all-wheel drive, gotta be all-wheel drive, but I'd do something slightly different. All-wheel drives, no matter what your torque, no matter what your horsepower, are notoriously difficult to get off the line because all your wheels are put in force against your gearbox and obviously your engine, so you're getting maximum load without any motion yet. So they're always going to be a bit of a pain in the rear end. However, two-wheel drive cars, as manufacturers are realising, as horsepower increases and engine performance increases, are heavily compromised. Front-wheel drives, you've got torque steer, understeer and all kinds of other kinds of steer you don't want. And rear-wheel drives, well, unless you've got one of the most intrusive traction control systems in history, your rear-wheel drive is going to slide out on you very easily because it's rear-wheel drive. There's no weight on the back end of the vehicle. Any person who owns a rear-wheel drive and has driven it in winter will tell you they go zoom, 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 zoom all the way down the bloody road. So what would I suggest, or what would be my way of doing this? Well, I'd have up to about 30 miles an hour-ish rear-wheel drive for takeoff. And then after, say, 30 miles an hour, you start slowly, with all the computer software they've got these days, it'd be a relatively easy thing to control and program. But you'd start to transfer power gradually to the front wheels up to say 30% of the overall power, just so as you've still got a rear end happy fun car, whatever. So you take off as two-wheel drive, and then ultimately once you get going up to whatever speed is decreed good, you're all-wheel drive. Maximum, say, 30% drive to the front. Now that would raise the bar somewhat slightly. But then again, this is all theoretical, it has to be said. You know, because obviously the rumours on the old Lancia have been going around and around and around and around and around ever since they took it away. But it would be really, really nice. Really nice. If they brought it back and did it justice. But there we go. I just thought I'd put that in, because I realised everything I was saying previous made it sound more or less like they were guaranteed to do it, even though I did say it's potential guarantee. But just to save anybody saying, oh, you've been taken in by another internet rumour, so I know it's been in the rumour mill, I know it's been circulating around, I don't know, all the rendering that's been going on recently is all just computer rendering of what the car could look like. It's a bit like there's computer rendering of a potential relaunch of the Rover SD1. As far as I'm aware, they're never actually going to relaunch the Rover SD1, but there's renderings of it and it does look pretty swish. But there we go. I just thought I would whack that in now, having thought about everything I was saying earlier. Yes, but it would be nice if they did bring it back. It has to be said. I think we can all agree on that one. It would be very nice if they brought it back, but did it properly. I mean, did it like they did last time, and just raised the bar. You know, really just even change people's perception of what a little hot hatch, or hyper hatch, as they are called these days, can do. And there we go. That's just me. That's just little old me. But anyway, I should crack on. Haven't got a clue when I'll be in Wellingborough, what time I'll get there. I know that I have a shift tomorrow. That's 12:30. I should be finished with long enough to render yesterday's material into a vlog, because that's yesterday was quite a short one. It was quite a short and sweet one. Today's one's going to be slightly longer, obviously. But yes, I should most likely see you when I get to Wellingborough, or at a later stage down this road. Well, made it to Wellingborough again. I'm always in this place. Why is it people do that? They get given seals to seal their trailer on the way back, because they might have a backhaul or something like that, and they just don't bother. It's like, seriously? What if security decide to check? You've got to explain why it's not sealed, but oh, whatever. But yes, we made it to Wellingborough yet again. I will most likely be back here tomorrow, and most likely Sunday, and Wednesday, and Thursday. I do seem to be here quite a large amount, but at the end of the day, it's easy. So anyway, I think what I shall do, seeing as I've probably dragged on quite a bit today, is I will end my day here. Because it's far easier for me to avoid issues with my channel if the majority of my stuff is, well, that's white, you can't tell where I am. I'm driving down the road, you can't tell where I am. It just makes it slightly easier. So I'm kind of liking this changing up, because it means whilst I'm here, once I'm building my air pressure up, I can put all of this stuff away, get back, paperwork's done, out the cab, everyone's happy, lovely jubbly. So I'm kind of preferring this method of doing things. I mean, the old way, you know, start of my day, end at the end of my day, that was perfectly fine, but there were times where I'd had that long day, I only had a few hours in between my shifts, and I was just aggravated, and either I was tired or whatever, and it was starting to get to me a little bit in that one. So I think maintaining this kind of thing is a good idea. So tomorrow, hopefully I will be sent up here, at least at some point during the day I'll get here, hopefully, and I shall see if I can actually do the line hookup again and get it right and all the whistles and bells. And then that can be a little bite-sized thing. I might actually, having thought about that, tomorrow I might put my tacho card in and record that again. I'll use my phone, so the sound is going to be a little bit... Although I might try and use the SJ. If I stick it there, angle it, it's got a screen on the back so I can see what it will look like. So I might use the SJ so it stays stable. The only issue is I'll have to be like... trying to get to it without blocking the camera, you know. But we shall see. It will be whatever it is, but I need to do some shorts. I need to work on a new intro insert for them, and then start uploading them on Tuesday, because it's been dragging on too long now and I want to get going. I want to start doing it. But anyway, cheers for watching. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. I shall see you tomorrow, no doubt, and find out where I'm buggering off to. See you later.